Yeah, thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm going to talk about construction stage side of things by using glue and field. Before, as well, I was talking about design stage, can use the work set on A360. And basically, we've been using glue and field on various projects in Hong Kong, and not just project in overseas, and I have been implementing quite successfully between a lot of different trades and contractors and consultants and pretty much everyone within. I myself is Michael Lam from Build.IT, BIM Manager for various projects in Hong Kong. I'm going to mainly talk about glue and tiny bit of field, and then my CK, our BIM director, will crack on with further details on BIM 360 field. I've been talking about glue quite a bit, and so in BIM 360, the whole collaboration tools, you can see there's a fair bit of apps that you can use to make sure that everyone can actually view the BIM model. Because to me, Lattice work is for submission only. It doesn't do anything. Because as soon as I submit a Lattice work, it's outdated already. But you keep telling me to submit Lattice work, and it's useless. I need the latest design changes and latest what I do on site, like BIM meeting room, coordination for 6 to 8 hours. And I want that information to be able to go on site, not just keeping it in my desktop and, oh, amazing model. At the moment, it's still doing this. And I'm holding on version 7 coordinated drawings, and on site, I'm still on version 2 and issue RFIs. But I've solved it already. So to me, use the mobile device if you're not used to using Revit to design yet, just to review what we have drawn. I come across with people who don't even look at 2D, never mind 3D. Anyway, to me, by using BIM 360 glue, it's a lot easier for everyone to understand what's been changed, what's been updated, and especially for clashes. A lot of clashes, we solve it ourselves without any sort of engineer inputs. But does it actually work? The clash number dropped down doesn't mean it works. But people at the moment just care about the clash report more than the actual design problem and design issues. Does the actual clash report really help you guys? Or will you guys just I hand it to you so you can hand the homework in to the client? And that's how I see it. The clash report in Lattice work doesn't work. It's all in green and red. Who the hell knows? It's over 10,000 clashes. Who could have time to look at 10,000 clashes? Solve the critical ones and left the minor ones to internally solve it by engineers. And it's definitely less conflict within the BIM meeting or any sort of coordination meetings. The subcontractor or consultant cannot say it's not my problem anymore. Deal with it. Add the clash with FS, you two deal with it. Don't ask the BIM modeler what is the solution. Do your own job, lads. You're the engineer, tell us what to do. BIM is a platform for everyone to collaborate and communicate and coordinate. And this is a platform for you to use and do markup and tell us when we've drawn things wrong. I don't know, well, it definitely saved me a lot of time, and I can issue a lot of quantity. But save money and loss of money, I'm not too sure about, because I don't really control money side of things. But on drawing issues and design issues, it's definitely working for me anyway. At the moment, I'm working for West Kowloon project and Kaita project and Artificial Island. And they all work. It depends on the engineer and architect if they're going to take on board with it, And it definitely can go, because on site, networks are kind of bad no matter where you go in Hong Kong. So you can download all the latest information from site office and go to site and work, instead of going back to the site office and get the latest drawing from the site clerk that she or he can never find for you. But with field as well, you can get the latest drawings and latest document and review it. If it's wrong, if it's an issue, mark it up, and everyone can go review it at the same time. And all your data would be the same as the consultant if you're a main contractor. Instead of arguing about how many days has been rained last month, claiming money on or asking for EOT. Data are the same. So last month has been 5-day rain. Okay, fair enough. It's been 5-day rain. I give you extra 5 days. I mean, main contractor has been asking me for data, and they've been arguing over a month over how many days has been rain last month, just for claiming or EOT. And it definitely, for me, the more people who can review the model, the more sort of issue can raise a lot earlier than before concreting. Because for me, Hong Kong concreting are kind of crazy. keep asking me for CBWD when CSD are not fully coordinated. The workflow are kind of different because we're still in the 2D world. Of course, there's going to be no clashes in the 2D world. You know, if 2D world are so good, why BIM exists, man? You know, but we relate to the contract drawing because it's been approved, but everything is wrong. So why can we not look at the model and solve the clash, and I issue the DWG for you guys to crack on with work? At least my drawing are coordinated. And yours is like architecture are not related to latest structure, structure are not related to latest air duct fan cover are always within the beam, you know, or within the column. Why? If 2D are so workable, you know? And it definitely minimizes a lot of risk because you can tell it's going to be 10,000 clashes, and you know where the clashes are because all the orange dots are focusing on that area. Don't look at each clash on its own. Look at it as a whole picture where all the clashes are like generated. It shows you where they are exactly. And like I said, because for the glue and feel is only iPad version. For the PC version is whatever PC is not so much as just Apple, it's whatever PC. But for the Android, because it's iOS issue, Android has a lot of different iOS platform, but iPad only has one, so all the data will less missing. And to me, it definitely streamlined the workflow because in West Kowloon project, I have electrical subcontractor that stationed in England. And she needs to coordinate with the architect quite often. So I basically give him an account, lock in, and they communicate between themselves, the special consultant with the architect. And that has worked quite well because especially on the FM, on all the electrical panel that he needs to maintain in the future. So he needs to have a specific equipment ID. And we generate all the equipment ID from Revit. We load up all the project browser. We put all the equipment ID into Revit, in project browser, in parameters, and you can see the exact data from Glue as well. I'm going to show you a little live demo of one of the projects that I've been using, just a quick, but keep it low pro, you know, because sometimes I can't show it. But it can run Clash on the PC. And once it runs Clash, if you mark up all the criticals, everyone can see the same Clash within the iPad. So you won't be, and once the Clash have been solved, once you refresh it, the marker will still be there, but the Clash you can see is solved, so you can close the case as well, because it's all locked. You can track back why it's been changed, what's been changed, how much has been changed, because you can feel back a different version of model. Every time I upload a model, it creates a new version, but I can track back onto whatever version I need, and you can overlap and compare with each other. And that's only on the PC version, not on iPad, of course. But I just sort of quickly go to, this is actually a Hong Kong project in West Kowloon. It's a free space, it's the theater project, and I don't just do the model, I have to do the whole part with underground UU. And underground UU are done by Civil 3D. Building are done by Revit, and we've been using Dynamo and different various software. But Glue can take a lot of different file format as well. So basically, I glue it all up here and run Clash with it. It doesn't matter if it's Civil 3D or Revit or whatever, just run Clash here, it's fine. And we've been like cutting each floor for review. We've also been cutting rooms, like because it's a theater, so a lot of room, each wall elevation needs to be coordinated according to clients' need. So each dressing room, each wall elevations for door detectors. I've cut all rooms for coordination meetings, so it's just easier for everyone to review each room. And if you want different grid according to contract, you can also pre-cut it and review it. But for this at the moment, like we are running on the root balls clashing with UU, the lamppost footing clashing with UU. So it's not just building MEP. You can use quite a lot of stuff. Like like one of the projects in Artificial Island, I've got a lot of shop drawings from main contractors, and no mock-up is necessary because it's fully coordinated within my BIM model. And the chief architect has actually approved the model and said no mock-up is necessary because mock-up takes about 2 to 3 months to build. I've been coordinating my model 3 weeks with the chief architect, and he approves everything. And I issued a DWG drawing for them to crack on with their DGN format submission. But as long as I issue DWG, I know the fact that all disciplines are coordinated. But if they give me the drawings from consultant, I know the fact that structure and MEP won't be coordinated ever because they don't have time to change their design. I understand this. It's not their fault, but it's just constant changing and constantly to update. But definitely it does work. A lot of people ask me why my model works and I pull it up to glue. It doesn't. It's a lot to do with how you break up the model and how your modeling method as well is quite clearly. You need to purge quite a bit. There's a certain R&D you need to do, but once you get the gist of it, as you can see, I have so many models just within this West Kowloon projects. And it's all different discipline according to the contract requirement and but it's all drawing reference list as well. So, but as soon as I I show you some data side of things. If I press this and press the I, it's the same data as the parameters what you have put in. So whatever data you need, input into Revit, you can see the same data here. It's up to you guys what you want to see. Like if it's underground you might want to see cover level and invert level only. And we will insert that in because it's Civil 3D, so it's already there. And let me just find. So the fact that the manual is P58 because it's Civil 3D, so all the data within Civil 3D will be here. It's the same thing. So Civil 3D is actually a lot easier because I don't have to put any data in the parameters because we input data to gen the Civil 3D. Anyway, I crack on back to my presentation. But talk about that was glue before. So basically, glue is mainly for construction stage, like designs, like collaboration, coordination, especially for the people that has not really used to Revit yet, but they want to refill the model, like all the engineers, or the team leaders, or the project leaders, and client as well. We've been taking the iPad on site when client come for a visit in Artificial Island, but nothing has been built as yet. So they use the iPad to show to the client what's going to be like in the future, and the client seems to like it and take snapshot and with the iPad on site. So that's been quite useful for the consultant side and have a progress meeting with client on site. And field-wise, it's to do with collecting the actual data on site and try to get it, because the glue and field actually link. And on site, because we've been doing coordination, collaboration within the design team, but we cannot get the data, the latest data from on site. So the subcontractor actually input the data themselves. And I can see all the data from field, and I can actually input it back into Revit and glue it back up to the iPad for everyone to review. So it is a workflow with glue and field. For me, field is more like a site diary in Hong Kong. But it also become a drawing management system, document management system, QA, QC, and safety as well, because you can do a lot of issue, you can do a checklist, and we have implemented BIM 360 field in a private job in Zheng Quan O, is a data center, and the client tend to use 360 field for QA, QC. After main contractor build what they're supposed to build, but the client is not up to standard, they will take a photo in 360 field, glue it back up to main contractor. Main contractor will review, rework what they have done, and they will take a photo, send it back to field. The client will see that's been solved, and they can sign it on the field, on a 360 field on the iPad as an approval. So in that way, it makes it a lot more efficient already, instead of waiting, go back to the site office, raise the issue, waiting for whatever, come back, and that probably takes 2 to 3 hours. But with field, it's an immediate thing, and it does work, but also to do with the team as well, you know. Yeah, just like traditional side of things, when you talk about safety, there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of checklists, lot of tedious things. But with the iPad 360 field, you pre-make your checklist, and you pretty much just take yes, no, or NA. And once you take no, it's going to be an issue. You just take a photo. CK is going to show you more details about field later. But because we always, like I said, we always been trying to coordinate within the BIM coordination meeting on site and try to get the coordination drawing onto the field, so they know what they're actually building, instead of issuing a lot of RFIs. That's already been solved. So in that way, it does work for me a lot easier. And because I used to be on site working and taking site diary and site photo and stuff as well. But before, I didn't have this kind of software. And we used to have to argue with main contractor quite a bit, because my data is not the same as theirs. Imagine how many laborers are on site, and that's to do with payment. And with 360 field, you can take down how many laborers are actually on that site, and the same record goes to the consultant as well as main contractor. So it's the same data, so it's a single source of truth to do payment and all that. Because I have a site saying to me that last week you only have 4 people, but they've input 60 people, so they have to put 60 payment. But on site is only 4. So they've been arguing a lot because it's to do with money, I understand. But with this software, data would be the same, so there's no argument anymore. It's more efficient. And like traditional side, when you want to get one drawing, you need to go to site office, get it from somewhere. But on here, you just refresh it and have a look, and it's the latest. You know, going back to site office in Artificial Island takes about 30 minutes car journeys. Without looking at, if the site are ill as well, you probably get it in 2 weeks' time. So, but with field, you can refresh it and you get the latest. And this is just some of the paperwork that you can issue as well. Instead of like a lot of trade paperwork, you can actually issue the report that you need. It might not be so much as your file format of your paperwork, but just change your file format within your company. It's only a template, right? You know, so, and also, like I said, it's like a weather thing, like a daily on what's been going on each day. And like a weather thing, like I said before, how many days has been rain within that month. And because they go to like what you call it, like a location on iPad. So it's like a shared location, isn't it? So same data will be the same location. I don't know which weather I get, but it's the same data anyway. If it rains, basically. It's no argument about it. This is some of the example. How many labor has been working, what subcontract there is, who's turned up, who doesn't. All these are checklists. You know, it's to do with payment on site. How many clashes is there, how many subcontract is there, who's not been working properly, how many clashes there is to solve. You can all generate all this report. Instead of blaming on the BIM modelers to solve all the clashes, get the subcontractor to come up with their own design. You know, come up with their own shop drawings. And you can also do markup and 2D drawings as well. Like I said before, it's a drawing management system. You can do markup on 2Ds. But the 2D drawings, I do believe it's best if you generate from the Revit model, not AutoCAD. And, you know. And this is just some of the checklists that you can pre-made, and it's to do with your company checklists, like for checking the hoarding, checking all the safety issues, checking the air duct, checking the waterproofing, IP65, 45, whatever. And also, if the checklists have failed, you can create issues, and you can attach whatever you want, from photos to email to PowerPoint to little hand sketch to anything, man, seriously. And create a task. And I'm going to pass on to CK. He knows this side of things more than I do. But yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Okay. Well, I've seen here we have a lot of say managers, architects who are going to make decisions to buy software. I think it's very important when we are asked by the boss, you want to buy something, and I think the boss will ask you the return on the investment. This is most important. I have to do it quickly. Yeah, it's about the customers' metrics. You can see this. This is a project of traditional, say, main laying. So what are the main sequences? Is trench excavation and main laying. So the inspector, well, they have the everything's loaded in the iPad using the field. All the welding specification and testing information are already in the iPad in the field, and so I think after each sequence, say trench excavation, they have to check the soaring system. Once this is passed, so the inspector just click and do the checklist, say everything passed, and then, well, the contractor we know, oh, okay, everything passed, including the test, so they can start the next step tomorrow. So according to this, the experience is that they can shorten a cycle from an 8-day cycle into a six-day cycle. So you can see, well, the contractor save a lot of money because of they can do, say, the whole project much faster. Okay, it's almost they save 25% of time. Another contractor, the first one is a Bond Construction. The other one, the next one is a Mortensen Construction. And you can see they implement this BIM 360 field. They can implement the BIM 360 field in 55 projects in 5 months. So how? Well, the reason is very easy. Well, this system must be very easy to use. It's very easy to set up. Otherwise, you cannot. Well, if you ask, say a software vendor to write a program to this one, I think the program itself would take, say, 6 months or a year to develop. So you can see this company can implement in such a short time. Another company, Clayco, you can see that they are using it in 50 active projects. And then what are the savings? The savings is 40% of the workforce. Yeah. And well, one of the characteristics is they can create a field issue. Actually, this system is a issue center. Whenever you have a safety problem, whenever you spot some quality problem, they just start up an issue and then send it to the contractor. So this is very important. The time you start a field issue, you can see is they can save 80%. Almost right away. When they see anything on quality or safety, they just start an issue. Another company, Anova, well, they use the iPad to go to site to capture the readings, and then that one will send it back to the Revit. And then, say, the modeler in the office can revise the model, and then the field man can also can right away see the update model. Another company, Gilbane building company. Well, the challenges is they have to liaise with 90 plus design consultant and 50 plus construction company, and also they have to manage 6,000 drawing. All the issues can be marked up in those 6,000 drawing, and they can communicate with other team members. The template is very easy to set up. Otherwise, they cannot implement in such a short time. And of course, it can allow a signature. Okay, Skanska. Well, I think the most important thing is I've said is return on investment. So Skanska said, well, if they invest 1 million, well, probably the saving is 2 million on staff cost or the staff time. On average, you can see it's 16%. In most of the jobs, it's 16% efficiency gain. That is, they save 16% or 1/6 time. Or in other words, previously you need 6 people to do it, and then right now you can just hire 5 staff. Another is efficiency gain. In most of the project, if they are familiar with these tools, well, normally the gain is 40% on efficiency gain. Well, this one is, I think the superintendent benefit most. Well, they can save, or the efficiency gain will be 20% on average. Well, this figure shows that it's very easy to start an issue. Once, say the inspector is on site, well, they see something on safety or quality, they just right away create an issue and then pass it to the subcontractor or the right person to follow up. Profitability. You can see the return, the ROI is more than 300%. It means that they invest 100,000. Well, the saving will be 400,000, cutting down the staff costs or staff hours. The final one is the Denver International Airport. Well, this is the 5th busiest airport in United States, and it covers the largest area. The excavation is 1.5 million cubic yard, and the steel works consists of 2,015 tons. Okay, another most difficult thing is that they have to liaise with more than 200 designers. And then during the construction stage at the peak, they have to handle, well, say 200 designers plus almost 1,000 contractors. I think without this kind of tools, well, they cannot achieve the task. You can see the saving, and then they finish the job 3 months ahead, and the saving is 6,000 hours before the handover. Okay, thank you very much.